Hello and welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Anchor. I'm Naveen Kumar Selvaraj. Today, we're going to talk about a concept that's often spoken of but rarely practiced in its truest form, and that's integrity. In this fast paced, competitive world of business, it can be easy to make small compromises, to cut corners, or to simply say one thing and do another. We justify these actions with the need for speed, for profit, or simply for survival. But what if I told you that these small compromises aren't just ethical lapses, but are actually a drain on your entrepreneurial energy and a threat to your long term success? Yep, this episode is about the compass of integrity, aligning values with action. Now, integrity isn't just about being honest. It's more than that. It's about, how do I put this? It's about being whole, you know? It's the state of living your life and running your business in a way that is fully aligned with your deepest values. When your values and your actions are in perfect harmony, you operate with a quiet strength and confidence that is unshakable regardless of external circumstances. Now, this word integrity, let's go to the root. It comes from this Latin word integer, meaning whole or undivided. Somehow, I'm sure you're recollecting childhood maths lessons now. Well, I am, so I can imagine it. Now, let's go back. So, as I said, we're going to the root of all this. Now, to be a person of integrity, like an integer, is to be whole. You need to run a business of integrity, and you do that by having a company that is whole, where its stated mission and its daily actions are one and the same. This brings us to a fundamental spiritual truth. Your personal character has a direct and undeniable impact on your public and professional duties. Your internal moral compass directly impacts your external contribution. You cannot be one person in your private life and another in your business life without creating a spiritual and energetic cost. Yeah. So this division it kind of creates an internal conflict and as a result stress and anxiety. It erodes trust both with your team, your clients, but most importantly, it erodes trust with yourself. And that's the costly one. A spiritually grounded entrepreneur understands that their business is a reflection of their inner state. If your character is built on a foundation of compromise and inconsistency, your business will always be unstable. Your team will always sense the hypocrisy, and their morale and loyalty will suffer. Your clients will eventually lose trust, and your brand will become fragile and unreliable. You yourself will feel a constant sense of unease, a gnawing feeling that you're not living up to your own standards. This internal conflict is exhausting. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to maintain a divided front. And when your actions are in perfect alignment with your character, you operate from a place of ease and power. Your decisions become much simpler, your communication much clearer, and your energy becomes boundless. Think about a time when you made a decision that you knew was right, even if it was the more difficult or less profitable path. Perhaps you chose to stand by a struggling employee instead of letting them go, or you turned down a project that was financially lucrative but ethically questionable. In that moment, you felt a surge of strength and clarity, didn't you? That feeling is the direct result of living in integrity. Now, think about a time when you made a small compromise. Let's look at the other end of the spectrum as well. Something like let's say a decision you knew in your heart wasn't right, but you took it anyways. Maybe you were dishonest with a client to save a deal, or you ignored a problem with a supplier to avoid a difficult conversation. That constant feeling of unease ever since you take that decision, that's maybe I may say that slight sense of shame or guilt, that is the cost of division I'm talking about. And I've been there. I'm sure you have been as well. We all have been there. And over time, these small compromises they build up, eroding your confidence, as I mentioned earlier, and eventually your spiritual foundation. My own journey, as I mentioned, has been a lesson in this. Let me give an example. Early in my career, I was so focused on growth that I took on a partner who I knew deep down didn't share my values. He was an excellent business person, mind you, but he operated from a place of pure profit while I was trying to build a business with a deeper purpose. I ignored my intuition because the financial benefits were too tempting. The partnership quickly became a source of constant stress and conflict. Every decision was a battle between my values and his pursuit of profit. It wasn't just a business problem, it was a spiritual one for me. The constant internal struggle was draining my energy and my joy in the work. Eventually, I had to make the difficult decision to dissolve the partnership. Well, the financial cost was significant, but the spiritual gain was immeasurable. I reclaimed my peace of mind and the clarity of my purpose. It was a powerful lesson that a business built without integrity is a house built on sand. So, how do we now build a business that operates with integrity? It starts with the leader, right from the top. First, you must clearly define your core values. Now, this isn't just an exercise for a how to say for your deck or your website's about us page. Huh? These are the non-negotiable principles that will guide every decision from hiring to marketing to client relations. Write them down, meditate on them, let them become a part of your daily awareness. Now, second, use your values as your compass. Before you make a decision, big or small, ask yourself, does this decision align with our core values? Does it feel whole? If the answer is no, be willing to walk away from the opportunity, no matter how appealing it may seem. Now, that requires courage, but it is the most powerful way to build trust with your team and your clients, and as I mentioned earlier, with yourself as well. Third, practice radical transparency. Be honest with your team about the challenges, mistakes, and successes. When you admit to an error, you're not showing weakness, you're modeling what integrity looks like in practice. This creates a culture where people feel safe to be honest and accountable, which in turn builds a stronger, more resilient company. Fourth, practice what I call the gut check. Before a significant decision, take a moment to be still. Does the decision feel light and clear or heavy and confusing? This physical intuitive signal is your body's way of telling you whether you are in alignment or out of it. Listen to it. That's your compass, right? Fantastic. So, thank you for joining me on this episode. And remember, integrity isn't a strategy, it's a way of being. It's the very foundation upon which all lasting success is built. Please do subscribe and share this podcast with a fellow entrepreneur who's grappling with a difficult ethical decision. Next week, we'll explore the art of conscious communication, leading with presence. Until then, as always, stay grounded, keep building with purpose, and remember, your spirituality is your greatest asset. See you next time.